These things are rad, man. Okay? So solving radical equations. If you see something like this, 9, I would write down some examples in your notes, and then I'll have you try one. If you see something like this, anyone know how to solve this? You don't know how to solve this?
Not sure.
Oh, she's not sure. Okay. What do you think, Claire? Yeah, well, not subtract 7. Subtract 3. So the first thing that you want to do is isolate. It's called, you want to isolate the radical expression. So I'm going to get rid of the 3, okay, by it. So first I'm going to do this, all right? Because then I have 9x minus 2 equals 4, right? And then I want to get rid of the square root. How do I get rid of a square root? I multiply by itself, or I square it, okay? So you isolate the radical, and then you square both sides, okay? So I'm going to square this, and then I'm going to square this. And that gives me, what happens when I square a square root? The square root goes away, so I get 9x minus 2 equals 16. And then I solve it just like I'm solving an algebraic equation. What do I do to both sides? Add 2, I get 9x equals 18. Then what? Divide by 9, divide by 9. I get x equals 2. Okay? Now with these, you always have to check your answer. Okay? Because when you square a square root, or when you multiply by something that has a variable in it, you risk introducing a solution that doesn't work in your equation. Okay? So you always have to, with these, you always have to check. So I'm going to take my 2 and plug it back in and make sure it works. Okay? Plug it back in there. So I get square root of 9 times 2 minus 2 plus 3, and I want to make sure, is that equal to 7? Is that equal to 7? Yeah. Does that be 9 times 2 is 18, minus 2 is 16, square root of 16 plus 3 equals 7. That's 4 plus 3 equals 7. So yeah, it works. Okay, but you always have to check to make sure it works. All right. You ready to try one? You ready to try one? Yes? Okay. So here we go. You try. Okay. Raising something to the 1/2 power is the same as doing what to it? Taking the square root. Okay? Mr. Wood, wait. I have to tell you something. Goodness. Okay? I didn't record my joke. So we're going to move on to another one. How about something that looks like this? What if I had the 4th root of 2x plus 3 minus 5 equals negative 2. I'm going to let you guys try this one. This is very similar to the last one we did, but so give it a shot. So on this one, I'm going to add 5 to both sides, plus 5, right? And then I'm going to have the 4th root of 2x plus 3, that goes away, equals 3. Then I need to raise this to the 4th power, right, to get rid of that thing. And so that gives me 2x plus 3 equals 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 equals 81. Subtract 3, you get 2x equals 78, right? And x equals 39. And then, again, make sure, especially when you're raising something to an even power, you got to check it. So you want to check, is the fourth root of 2 times 39 plus 3 minus 5, you want to see what that is. Well, 2 times 39 is 78, plus 3 makes 81. The fourth root of 81 is 3, and 3 minus 5 makes negative 2, so it checks. You understand how you check it? Good with that one? You ready to do another? A trickier one?
No, let's keep it about the same level.
Keep it, it's going to boost up by, we're going to level 1.2. Okay, so this next type is a little tricky, okay, because we have this square root of x plus 7 plus 5 equals x. Go, what? Who can tell me what I should do? Yeah, you first want to minus 5, okay? So, am I recording? Am I recording? I'm recording, right? I'm recording, okay? So, yeah, you first minus 5, okay? Minus 5, and then you get the square root of x plus 7, that goes away, equals x minus 5. Then I square both sides. So here's where it gets tricky, okay? You square both sides, and you get x plus 7. What do I get when I square this side? Don't say x squared plus 25. What do I get when I square that side? X squared, what, Mandy? You get x squared. You have to remember there's the two middle terms. And those middle terms make 10x plus 25. So when you square that, don't forget your middle terms. Then you have to get everything on one side and factor, okay? So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides, and I'm going to subtract x from both sides, okay? And that gives me, is this going to work? X, so on one side, I have x squared minus 10 minus 1 makes minus 11x plus 18. And on the other side, I have 0. And then you have to factor this. So here we're boosting this up by a notch, okay? What two numbers multiply to 18 and add to negative 11? 9 and 2. So one is negative 9 and one is negative 2. So either x equals positive 9 or x equals positive 2. This is where you have to double check to make sure that you check your answers, because one of these answers works and one of these answers doesn't work. Try plugging it in. If I plug in 2 in there, 2 plus 7 is what? What's the square root of 9? 3. 3 plus 5? 8. Is 8 equal to 2? Is 8 equal to 2? You understand what I just did? I plugged 2 in here and here. So if I plug 2 in here, I get 2 plus 7 plus 5 equals 2. And I get 3 plus 5 equals 2. And that's not, okay? If I plug in 9 in there, right, I get square root of 9 plus 7 plus 5. Does that equal to 9? Is that equal to 9? Is this equal to 9? 16, square root of 16 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9, okay? So when you do something like this, this is called an extraneous, it's a big word, extraneous root, okay? An extraneous root, you throw that one away, okay? So sometimes because you square, when you're squaring things with variables and stuff, you have an extra extraneous root that you have to throw away. Okay? Yes? So that I have a you try, but I want to give you guys the worksheet to try to do. But I want to show you one more type that you're going to see that you're going to say, how do you do this one? This is the very last one, like on your Math Excel and on your little homework sheet that I'm going to give you. But if you see something that looks like this, which you may, square root of x plus 6 minus 2 equals square root of 2x minus 10. I'm just going to show you guys how to do this and let you practice on your worksheet. Okay? You can't really get any square root all by itself, right? Because if I bring the 2 on the other side, it's not going to do me any good. So what I do when I'm doing this is I square both sides. Okay? If you see something like this, this is how you do it. Square both sides, and then this you have to FOIL. When I FOIL this, the two first terms, it's this times this itself, which is x plus 6. Okay? The two outer terms, right, is this times this, which is 2 times the square root of x plus 6. And the inner term gives me the same thing, 2 times the square root of x plus 6. What does the last term give me when I FOIL this? What's negative 2 times negative 2? 4. Okay? So that's my left side of this equation. When I square the right side of the equation, what do I get? What's this thing squared? 2x minus 10. That goes away. See that? Then I combine everything. Okay? So I have x plus 6 plus 4 gives me x plus 10 plus I have 2 times 2 of these, so I have 4 times the square root of x plus 6 equals 2x minus 10. Okay? Now I proceed to get everything on one side. This is except, well, you want to get everything except, let's see what happens, okay? I want to get everything except the numbers on, what happens to this 10 and this, oh no, it doesn't go away. I get 4 square root of x plus 6. I'm going to have, what am I going to do? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna, Jessica, what?
If it's negative 2, wouldn't it be minus 2 root of x plus 6?
Oh, yeah. That's minus, maybe that's what I did. That's minus. So you have x, you have x minus 20 equals 4 square root of x plus 6. I think somewhere along the line I made it blue. Then you'd have to square both sides again, okay? When you square both sides again, you get 16 times x plus 6, oh gosh, equals x squared minus 40x. I think I messed up on this problem. Good. I think that, you know what I think I messed up? I think I wrote it down wrong. Okay, we won't try this one. We'll throw this one away for now, okay? So, we're going to move up. But that's how you do it. Sometimes you have to square both sides twice, okay? And you have to get rid of one of the variables and get it on the other side, okay? Good thing we weren't getting observed.